Excuse me, Miss Ma'am, just because you've been hanging out with DJ X at ungodly hours doesn't mean you get to play courtroom lawyer in your own marriage. She acts like, unless Guillermo has a private investigator trailing her with night vision goggles, his feelings are invalid. That's not how trust works. This isn't CSI Charlottesville, it's a marriage. Hello, my sugar plums. This is your host, not Angela, back in the building with yet another opinion piece. Notice I said opinion, not gossip, because we deal with facts with flavor around here. And today I've got my magnifying glass, my iced coffee, and my last nerve reserved for none other than 90 Day Fiance's resident diva, Kara Leone, a.k.a. Kara Bass, but Leone sounds more like she's auditioning for a Bravo spinoff. Now listen, the 90 Day universe has given us some true characters over the years. Big Ed with his mayo hair mask, Danielle and Mohammed's courtroom showdown, Angela Dean puffing cigarettes like she's in a Marvel commercial, but none of them, I repeat, none of them play the walking red flag role quite like Kara. This woman has turned marriage into her own personal OnlyFans subscription, and poor Guillermo, he's the guy who signed up for the free trial and now can't figure out how to unsubscribe. So let's break down why Kara Leone might just be the biggest red flag the 90 Day Fiancé franchise has ever produced. Grab a snack, maybe some popcorn, because this is going to be a ride. Let's start with the incident that had everyone clutching their pearls. Kara admitted so casually, like she was talking about buying oat milk, that she went over to her ex's house at 3 in the morning, 3 a.m. Now, I don't care if she went there to pray the rosary or to alphabetize his record collection. Nothing good happens at 3 a.m. except Taco Bell runs and questionable life choices. And Kara expecting Guillermo to just nod along and say, cool babe, have fun at your ex's house in the middle of the night is laughable. Her excuse? We hooked up like once in 2011. It was just one summer fling. Ma'am, if I had $1 for every time someone pulled the "it was years ago doesn't count" card, I could fund Guillermo's pilot school and her bachata tour. It's the casualness that's wild. Like sis dropped hooked up in the middle of conversation the way I dropped. By the way, I bought gum. Kara's entire marriage seems to run on a dangerous little motto. My body, my rules, your feelings don't count. Listen, there's nothing wrong with skimpy outfits, OnlyFans, or chasing your dreams. But when your husband has clearly expressed that it makes him uncomfortable and you still roll up on stage in something from the Barely There collection, that's not empowerment, that's provocation. Guillermo shows up to her shows like he's being forced into jury duty. Meanwhile, Kara's over there grinding on stage in sequins that look like they were stolen from a Vegas showgirl. She wants him to clap and cheer, but honestly, the poor guy looks like he's counting down the minutes until Spirit Airlines calls him back for a shift. Now, here's where it gets sneaky. Every time Guillermo raises a concern, Kara hits him with the classic gaslight special. There's no proof, you're making this up, you're projecting your own actions on me. Excuse me, Miss Ma'am, just because you've been hanging out with DJ X at ungodly hours doesn't mean you get to play courtroom lawyer in your own marriage. She acts like, unless Guillermo has a private investigator trailing her with night vision goggles, his feelings are invalid. That's not how trust works. This isn't CSI Charlottesville, it's a marriage. Guillermo has one dream, becoming a pilot. Is it expensive? Yes. Is it ambitious? Sure. But is it any more unrealistic than trying to become a bachata superstar in suburban Virginia? Absolutely not. And yet, Kara constantly reminds him how much money his dream is draining, like she's running their marriage as Shark Tank. Meanwhile, her own music career hasn't exactly been breaking the Billboard charts. Let's not forget that infamous collab with the Bad Boys, yes, with a Z, which fans found more provocative than professional. And on top of that, she deliberately wore such skimpy outfits, knowing that her husband has a problem with it. Support in marriage should be a two-way street, but with Kara, it's more like a one-way road that ends at her OnlyFans page. Ah yes, the phone drama. Guillermo noticed Kara smiling at her phone and texting like she was auditioning for the role of Suspicious Wife 1. When he asked about it, instead of easing his mind, she doubled down with, "You're insecure. It's nothing." Listen, if you're genuinely innocent, you don't minimize your partner's concerns. You hand him the phone, laugh it off, and move on. Instead, Kara treats every confrontation like an episode of Law & Order Relationship Unit, twisting the narrative until Guillermo feels crazy for even asking. One thing about Kara, she will never, ever admit she's wrong. If Guillermo points out something valid, she doesn't say, "You're right, I could have handled that differently." No, she immediately turns into the victim. Cue the waterworks, cue the dramatic monologues about being misunderstood. It's exhausting just watching it. Imagine being married to it. Emotional manipulation, projecting allegations. And when all else fails, she flips the script. Instead of answering for her own actions, Kara accuses Guillermo of being unfaithful. Classic move. Maybe you're projecting, maybe you're the one cheating. Girl, please. That's the equivalent of a kid with cookie crumbs all over their face saying, well, maybe you ate the cookies. By accusing Guillermo without evidence, she muddies the waters and diverts attention from her own shady behavior. Manipulation at its finest. Let's talk about Kara's music career. She's been grinding since 2023, but so far the most headlines she's made involve questionable collabs and fan complaints about her stage outfits. It's giving more of a local bar act than an international bachata queen. And then came the OnlyFans era, launched conveniently after she had her baby. Nothing wrong with the hustle, but the timing, a little sus. Instead of building intimacy back with Guillermo, she built a paywall for strangers. And when fans raised eyebrows, she blamed Guillermo because, of course, the red flag roundup. So let's tally this up. Late night ex visits, provocative performances, gaslighting, and emotional manipulation. No support for her husband's dreams, suspicious phone behavior, a career that's more smoke than fire, and a side hustle on OnlyFans, all while blaming Guillermo for every hiccup. Ladies and gentlemen, if this isn't the walking definition of a red flag, I don't know what is. Kara Leone isn't just a red flag, she's the entire NASCAR race. At the end of the day, Kara and Guillermo's marriage feels less like happily ever after and more like a group project where one person does all the work while the other insists they're contributing with vibes. Guillermo looks exhausted, Kara looks defensive, and fans are left wondering how long this circus can keep going. But hey, this is TLC. If there's one thing they love, it's milking a toxic relationship until there's nothing left but dust and reruns. So grab your popcorn, my sugar plums, because whether Kara and Guillermo crash and burn or somehow patch things up, we'll be here to witness the chaos one red flag at a time. There are also rumors that they might separate, and if that's the case, we will surely see their fallout on TV. That's all from me, babes. This has been your host, not Angela, dropping opinions hotter than Kara's late night DJ visits. Don't forget to like, comment, and unsubscribe from toxic men, but never from me. See you next time for more messy TLC madness.